Hi, it's Mobile Max, and it's Thursday, April 24th, Thursday evening, 2025. World is in big problems, big fucking problems. India and Pakistan might go to war. And what are they going to war over? Water! Well, as you know, India became an independent country in 1948, and the Muslims and Hindus and Sikhs all had a civil war. So that's how Pakistan got formed, is all the Muslims went to their side in Pakistan, and they made a new country called Pakistan, where all the Muslims who used to be in India moved to, and all the Indians who were in the Pakistan now moved to India. But the problem with Pakistan is they get most of their water from this one river called the Indus River. And this river, this big huge river that supplies 95% of Pakistan's drinking water and whatever, agricultural water, any type of fresh water, starts up in Kashmir in the Himalaya mountains. And that's part of India. So what's been happening is Pakistan, well, they've been having close relations with China, the People's Republic of China, Red China, Communist China, and their Belt and Road Initiative have had a lot of projects in Pakistan. So I don't find this too amazing because China is very aggressive. Anyway, India is controlling the water in Kashmir, and Pakistan responds with terrorist actions trying to destabilize Kashmir because they say Kashmir is part of Pakistan, and well, you could probably guess the rest. So now India, well, they had a peace treaty in 1960 regarding this river, but now India has rescinded their participation in this treaty and shut off the water to the Pakistanis. But I'm sure China had a lot to do with it. China's very aggressive. I bet they've even been very aggressive here in the United States. In fact, here's what I think. In the last 20 years, the population of this planet has almost doubled in many countries in Africa, in the Mideast, in Kazakhstan or Armenia, all those places. Populations have gone up dramatically. A lot of this driven by the radical Islamists like in Iran. And as you know, Iran is a very close ally of Russia, previously the Soviet Union. In fact, I'm pretty sure, I don't have any evidence, but I'm pretty sure that in 1979, when the radical Islamic students revolted and took over Iran, that I'll make you bet dollars to donuts that the KGB had a lot to do with that. Anyway, getting back to what I was talking about, the population of the planet has dramatically gone up, and I think this was a plan of you-know-who, Gay Putin. Vladimir Putin's big giant plan to take over the world. He allied with the radical Islamists, especially in Iran, and told them his great plan and convinced them to instigate and to say and try to motivate the people to breed more. But you need food and water to breed, because the more humans there are, the more food they eat, and the more water, and the more filth they create. But Russia has had a long time had a big agricultural motivation. In Russia is the largest country in the world, and in many dams and canals, they even drained major lakes so that they could supply irrigation to all these huge fields all over the Soviet Union, Russia, Kazakhstan, Turkmenistan, fields of grain and whatever, cotton, so they can have food to fuel this enormous rise of population. Because why? Well, you got more people, you've got only a certain amount of resources. So more people needing resources causes chaos and confusion. So I'm sure with the ascendancy of China in the last 20 years, this is what they want. Chaos and confusion all over the world. I mean, look in Africa. They're always having some kind of coup, famines, political strife, wars, civil wars. I mean, it's just like never ending. The Mideast the same. There's so many people. And with this radical Islamists and their notions of how they're wonderful and going to paradise and our Western culture is evil, they're instigating war. Now, war is good for, according to the communist Chinese and Putin, because war brings opportunity. If you've got a strong military and a strong intelligence agency, when somebody's at war, you can infiltrate and take over and get power by taking resources and taking ownership and building ports. And that's what China's been doing. It has an above-board policy, the Belt and Road Initiative, and it has a covert policy of instigating war and strife throughout the world, including the United States. Anyway, I see a definite correlation between the ascendancy of communist China and the amount of war and strife in the world. They want war, they want strife, so that they can seize opportunity and get more power and knock us off the throne as the leaders of the world. We can't let this happen. We must get more aggressive and more smart to defeat these guys. Anyway, that's all I got to say. Bye.